Down towards the bottom of the Bentley straight, we've had a shuffle for the lead, because it is John Crayston who has now picked up the lead of the race. Another place on that lap as well. The race leaders though, next to tail, coming in towards the braking area for Murray's for the first time. It's the Lotus Elan that leads the time to CR6 in a straight line. Either car had an advantage. Two of them pretty much matched the straight line speed by the look of things. If anything, John Crayston just edging away from James Black as they come over the start-finish line. Ben Walker there in third place. Dean Halsey up to fourth, with Stephen Collins now in the MGB Roadster dropping to fifth. Simon Benoy in the Imp wraps up the top six at the moment. But for fourth and fifth place, Stephen Collins and Dean Halsey gaining good positions on the grid, 3 and 4 places respectively for the Datsun 240Z and the MGB Roadster, which in the hands of Stephen Collins was trying to prise the door open on Dean Halsey as they went in towards the Wilson hairpin, but he couldn't quite make it stick. One car that did not come through at the end of that lap was Mark Neese. His Mini, I'm sure I saw out there on the formation map, but he has not come through at the end of the lap, so he must have had a problem somewhere out on circuit. Other than that, everybody else is through. In fact, Mark Neese destined for the pit lane.
Yeah, he's into the pit lane now, so I'm going to wander up with him. The team are waiting for him. It doesn't sound brilliant. It sounded rather lumpy in qualifying at one point, but he's clearly got that back running on song for the previous swinging 60s race. But I'm going to wander up, try and grab a word. Are we going to see the engine off? No, back out potentially, or up to Park Ferme, I think, Mark. I'll be back with you in a second.
Yeah, let's just have a quick look. I think Mark Neese, looking at the way the car is positioned in the pit lane, he's got his handle off. Yeah, Mark Neese is heading into retirement, I'm afraid, so that's a huge shame for him, having qualified fifth quickest in the wet qualifying session earlier. He is heading straight in towards the Park Ferme area and retirement, so disappointment for him, but he didn't even complete really the first lap of racing. What news, Jack?
They don't know, because they've spent all
not quite responding how they want, so they're still getting a little bit fire as well. So, what are they doing? Change everything, and everything's changed. Doesn't look So, good fight going on between Tim Cairns at the wheel of the Turner Mark II and the midget, number 11 guy, and John Stone are pretty acceptable. The final place inside the top 10, one's 10th, one's 11th at the moment. As over the start-finish line comes our race leader, John Crayston, leading away from James Black, and then Ben Walker. So the top 3 were pretty much together. That squabble that we were talking about comes over the start-finish line any second now. Tim Cairns, who is trying to keep cars behind him. So Bill Watt, followed by the Ginetta G4. Then it's the Turner on Tim Cairns, who has got, say, John Foe right behind him. John Foe under pressure from Brent Fowler at the wheel of the Frog-Eyed Sprite. And then Mark picked off the A40, not too far away. So we're squabbling outside of the top 10. As they head in towards the braking area, Brent Fowler up the inside of John Foe. John Foe breaks out around the outside of Wilson, which gives him the inside line again when they get towards Palmer. So the red midget with the blue roof still hanging on to 11th place, car number 11. So keep an eye towards that little squabble. Just ahead of them there's another fight going on as well, which is Bill Watt coming under pressure from the Ginetta G4 and Mark Hobbs. So that's another fight that's just up the road. 3, as I say, were also together as they came over the start-finish line, because last time through it was the Jag XJ Coupe of Ben Walker that set the fastest lap of the race on the first flying lap. 2 minutes 19.141 from the big Jag, which is going to be far more suited to these dry conditions than it was wet earlier on, albeit it did qualify, didn't it, on the front row of the grid. So the window will open after the first 10 minutes of the race. Car of the 8 flat, which might just give John Crayston the opportunity to okay for them to pick up the road. Dance around on the variations of the route. Never If I hadn't pulled through that section of the circuit, the XJ2 pavement, it's a rocket ship in a straight line. So through come the leading three. John Crayston leading the way. He was half a second up the road from James Black last time through. He's a second and a half up the road from James Black this time through. He's feeling the pressure a little bit from Ben Walker, who's not that far behind at the wheel of the West Riding Jaguar. Rather than by Dave Five will be taking over in for part two of the race. Stephen Halsey's having a little squabble also just behind, with Stephen Collins in the MGB trying to wiggle his way through. So there's three cars fighting for the lead, there's two cars fighting for fourth and fifth position. Martin Pratt is pretty much on his own in sixth at the moment, because Simon Benoy's Hillman is now in seventh. We've had a change for eighth because of the Ginetta is now up into eighth place in the hands of Mark Hobbs, which means that Bill Watt drops down into ninth and Tim Cairns completes the top 10 currently. So up towards Agostini goes Dean Halsey, he's there in fourth place. We saw Dean out in the race earlier on, the first of the Adams Page Swinging 60s race. We saw Stephen Collins out, and Stephen will be hoping for a bit of good luck this weekend. So it's his fourth race of the weekend. He's posted 3 retirements so far, 2 in the Gold Arts Magnificent Sevens yesterday, and 1 at the wheel of this MGB Roadster in the Adams Page Swinging 60s earlier on. So he's due a bit of good luck. Imagine that the Datsun of Dean Halsey would just pull away a little bit as they head onto the Bentley Straight, larger engine capacity car. For the lead of the race, then John Crayston. Go the leading trio. The gap's just starting to open up between them all as Ben Walker falls further away in third place from the Triumph TR6 of James Black that he's been trying to hunt down. Still within a second of him though. They've also got traffic just up the road to deal with as well, which is going to be David Cornwallis at the wheel of the BMW 650 Ti. Through the Wilson hairpin. Halsey in fourth place, still under attack from Stephen Collins in the MGB Roadster. They try and work out who wants to be fourth and who wants to be sixth. Also seventh that time through, because the Ginetta 4 and Mark Hobbs having gained a place over Bill Watt on the previous lap has now gained a place over Simon Benoy's in. So that's 2 places gained in 2 laps for the number 35 Ginetta G4. And there's also been a change for 12th place as well, because Mark Cloutman at the wheel of the purpley pink Austin A40 is ahead of the powder blue frog-eyed sprite of Brent Fowler that time through, now drops down into 13th position. So squabble for second and third still raging. Traffic for Dean Halsey in fourth place to try and negotiate. He's going to have to wait until the exit of Oggies to sneak his way through and past David Cornwallis at the wheel of his BMW 1600 Ti. Onto the Bentley Straight goes Ben Walker, who's carrying much more speed down the Bentley Straight than James Black can do. And is the Jag going to draw itself alongside and up to second? Well, he's up to second and through. By the time they get towards Brundle and Nelson, Ben Walker is up to second place. This phase, I'm afraid, at the time, and the next time the phase is 195 38, Simon Page, the Black and Sword horse, got a surprise in the match. Playing it fully for the window, albeit the team were waiting for him or waving him in, but